Before we wrap up this appointment-driven communication class, I want to be clear. I want to make sure that you understand something. I said earlier that I hate phone training, and the reason that I hate phone training is you leave phone training psyched, and then you never change a thing. And I don't want that to happen with this. While this wasn't a specific just phone training class, this was talked about appointment-driven communication. We talked about the perfect appointment. We talked about all of the things. Remember, we talked about the why and the how, not just the what, right? The what is what a typical phone training class is. Remember your goals, okay? But here's the key. What I need you to do is to start reinforcing today's training right now. So you need to start today to do things the right way, because here's what's going to happen if you don't. If you think, hey, this is great, tomorrow is when I'll start doing this, you're going to get up from your desk, if this is where you're taking the class, and you're going to walk out and catching up, or your phone call is going to come in, or you're going to make a phone call to a prospect, and they're going to give you an objection that you hadn't heard before, that we didn't discuss in this training. You're going to go right back to doing things the way you always did, and you're not going to sell any more cars. So start today. Now, I had a very wise owner of a couple Nissan stores tell me this, and I'm going to tell it to you. There are two best times to plant a tree. Do you know when those two best times to plant a tree are? One was 20 years ago. That's the first best time to plant a tree. The second best time to plant a tree is today. Today is the second best time to get going forward with using the proper talk tracks, but more than that, having the discipline, knowing not just what to say, but how to say it and why to say it. If you want to reinforce today's training, don't allow yourself to freelance. Stick to the talk tracks as they're written. Don't freelance. Now, once you get good with these talk tracks, then begin to incorporate things in your own personality and change them up so that you sell more cars, but measure as you're saying these things. Another way to reinforce today's training is to role play, but role play every day. Role play with your kids, with your wife, with your coworkers. Have them say some of the objections that we went through today, right? Have them say, I'm not coming in until you tell me what my 2008 Taurus is worth, and then have that objection ready. And remember the goal, right? Remember the goal. The goal is an appointment that shows if you have them on the phone. The goal is to get a call back if you're leaving a voicemail or you're sending an email. And be selfish. See, that's part of the goal. If your goal is to make money for yourself, which is what it should be in the automotive industry, be selfish. Because if you're selfish, you will help your dealer make more money. You really will. If you're selfish, you will help your customers buy more cars at better experiences than they're doing today. See, the VIP treatment isn't just there aren't just words. The perfect appointment is a true VIP experience, and customers love it. If you start doing the perfect appointment, customers will actually come to you. They'll walk to the desk. I've seen it. They walk right up to the desk and they say to the sales manager, my gosh, this is the very best experience I've ever had buying a car. So be selfish. When you're selfish, everybody else wins. Remember this saying, I don't get paid for information. Keep telling yourself that. I don't get paid for information. I don't get paid to build rapport on the phone. I don't get paid for information. I don't get paid to touch base. I get paid for appointments that show and buy. And then finally, the best way to reinforce today's training beyond all the things that we talked about is let's make discipline a game. What do I mean by that? When you're talking to someone on the phone, right, and you're trying to set the appointment, and you say, I have 2 test drives open on that Camry today. I've got a 515, a 545, which one works better for you? Be ready for an objection. Assume that they're not going to pick one of those times, and then you make it a game. So whatever their objection is, no problem, and you end with, well, I have 2 appraisals open today. I've got a 515, a 545, which works better for you? If you can make discipline a game, discipline becomes easier, you become better at the talk tracks. Eventually, you're setting appointments that are showing at near 100% and you're closing well above 80%. That's what living in appointment culture feels like.